Morning, everyone. I wanted to go over a few things in case I missed some and redo some of the other things. We'll be talking about my recumbent electric trike today that I custom built. This is my most recent build. I started this a year and a half ago, and trying to get various parts and everything took quite a bit of time and had a couple difficulties, but anyhow, this is a 2017 Catrike 700, and I've totally customized it. It's got 16-inch front wheels and a 20-inch back wheel, 349 on the front and 406 on the back. The rims are extra wide. It's a BMX rim. It's I think it's about 41, 42 millimeters wide on the back. That really helps support the tire because on a trike, recumbent trike, you're side loading the wheels and rim. Everything's being pulled to the side, so I feel like a wider rim helps support the tire and helps it corner a lot better. And then plus it's lower center of the gravity. I have approximately, I would say, 3.5 inches of ground clearance to the top of the bottom of the idler to the ground. And same with the rim. These are from Mr. Recumbent in Australia. He has these 37, 38 millimeter wide rims, which I like, and that's they're called the True Blues. And I'm also running his tires on the front. Simply because it's one of the few wider tires that you can get in the 349. And I am a big fan of the wider tires. I would say 40 millimeter to 2.5 inches seem to be about the sweet spot in my opinion, especially for the electric bikes. Like I said, everybody's got a different viewpoint and what they want and what they need. So I'm just speaking about my experience and my personal setup. On the front, I'm running a tri-sled velomobile chain ring. That's an 80 tooth, and that's to compensate for the 20-inch wheels, so you can still pedal at a high speed if so desired. I also have a Answer BMX crank. It's actually like made for children. Because I prefer running the short crank. Once again, because it's electric, you don't have to worry about pedaling and moving yourself so hard. So a shorter crank is much more comfortable on the legs and knee bend, and with the electric, you still get around just fine, and it's no problem. You've got the Shimano XTR pedals. The cranks, back to the cranks, these are 100 millimeter long. I've had anywhere from 100 to 220 millimeter cranks in my times when I used to race and care about performance and experimenting. So I've had lots of various crank lengths. And on the recumbent electric versions, I prefer the shorter cranks. So much more comfortable and easier to spin around. Let's see, the hubs are Hope Pro 4, Pro 3, where the Pro 2 will fit just fine. You'll have to cut down a little bit of the axle, the Catrike axle, just about 4 millimeters or so, because they're a little bit narrower. But they mount up, other than that, they mount straight on. Over here we have the Hadley hubs, which I think have a little bit better bearings, and I like them when I'm pedaling. So about any downhill 20 millimeter hub will work. You may or may not have to modify the axles and cut them down just a few millimeters off of one side. So I can show you over here, this is a normal Catrike axle here. See if I can get the camera, and then you just take a few millimeters off either side. One side will be sufficient, about 4 millimeters, and then they bolt straight on. So that's that. While I'm over here at the workbench, these are for the hub drive. It puts more stress on the dropouts, so I had these custom made. This is my prototype that I made, and this is the one that was actually made, so that they're made for left and right, and they fit inside the dropouts. And over here we have it on the machine, the bike, and you can see how they bolt on, and then the little groove there in the back goes into the dropouts and helps support it, so it strengthens the rear end, and it's kind of like a torque arm in some sense, doing something similar. It keeps the motor from twisting the axle and damaging your dropout in the back. So I had them custom made here by a local machinist friend of mine. So that's on all the bikes, because I'm pushing a little more wattage, and I just didn't want to have any problems. I've got approximately 30,000 miles on the hub drive motors, about 10,000 on one of the bikes, and the green one here I've probably got about 3,000 or 4,000. This is a 72 volt battery setup, and you can see I got it zip tie. I used zip ties and went from the bracing on the 700, has two braces, a lower and upper brace, and I just simply zip tied that between the two braces because this particular battery happens to fit exactly right in between there, so it lowers the center of gravity. I think it looks very much like one might come from the factory. I have one on each side, and then the controller is in the Catrike bag. I have a Crystalite controller. The batteries I got from Grin Technology. They're 2100 700 cells, and I'm getting about 125 to 150 miles per battery, so you can just double that. So I'm in the 250 to up to 300 mile range. 250 is a pretty safe bet if you're very aggressive and running it real hard. You're probably down to the 200 mile mark. Again, it depends on how you ride, how fast, temperature, and all these variables. But generally, I found the 20 watt per mile rule is a pretty good rule of thumb on how much battery you need and how far it's going to go. So 20 watts, so a 100 watt battery will get you 5 miles. I know that will vary depending on how you pedal and up in hills and this and that, but I think that's a pretty realistic number to try to get, decide on what system you want, because that's what I found with all 3 systems that I have. And I've also built 3 other bikes besides these for other friends of mine. So yeah, the batteries are from Grin Technology. Also, I'm running their, over here under the workbench, I'm running their chargers are as well. They're very nice because they're programmable cycle statiator, and they actually give you a readout, so when you come home and plug it in, you can see what your batteries are doing, what state of charge they're in. So after about 150-60 mile ride, I come back and they're about at 40-some%, usually around 42% charge. So that lets me know that I could ride it pretty easy another 100 miles. So I've got a couple of them because I have 2 batteries on the thing, and I plug them in parallel. And I unplug one of them just not to confuse the BMS on the batteries, because each battery has its own BMS. So I was told that would be a good idea to unplug one and then plug them in both separately to each charger, because I don't want to come out in the middle of the night and have to transfer one to the other. So just as far as convenience, I got 2 chargers, and you could do it with one and in 4 or 5 hours come out and plug into the other battery. I'd just rather have them working and quickly up, so in 4 or 5 hours they're both charged and I'm ready to go. And plus, if one breaks down, you have a spare. So the hub on the back is a Crystallite hub, and it's made by HPC Cycles. They're having Crystallite make them, so they custom drill out the hub for cooling. It's an old racer's trick, and so then you can run more wattage and you don't have any water buildup surprisingly, because it air dries whatever little bit of water may get in there. It quickly dries up and you tend to have even less water damage. I suppose that wouldn't be true if you're riding underwater or something, but I tend not to do that. So like I said, got some tools in the bags. Them are the Catrike 700 bags. Running a hookworm, which I think is one of the best or better electric bike tires. It has very stiff sidewalls, so it really supports the weight of the extra weight of the bike, because when you get into electric bikes, they're easily, pretty much double the weight of a normal bike. So you need a bike that has much stiffer sidewalls. If we come over here, we can maybe I can show you here. These are the True Blue round tires, and the sidewalls are pretty pliable. I've got over 200 tires, and the Maxxis hookworm here, you can barely move them. They're made for BMX, so I would say they're at least twice as thick and stiff, and that also helps with flats and stuff. They're very durable. I have yet to flat one in 30,000 miles. Not to say they can't be flatted, and here's the Scorcher, and again, the sidewall's fairly thin. They're a racing tire, and same with the True Blues. They're both made down in, one's, I think the Scorcher's made in China. No, the True Blue's made in China, and the Scorcher's made in Taiwan. And I got the Avid BB 5s or 7s, I can't recall. They're both very similar on the front with 160 rotors. This bike's also, it's got a kill switch, and it's got the mirrors on the back there. I've got it's made in Germany, a Lupine light that I bought. It's probably about 10, 15 years old now. It's pumping out like 80 watts. I think it's around 2,000 lumens. Then I have little knobs on the back here which light up, and you can make them blink. So that's my things. If I'm out early or late in the day, I put them on. The other light's extremely bright, and the battery on the water bottle cage there is for the front headlight. So it's pretty nice setup, and it's like I said, it's my 8th pick. You can see where they're plugged in. The batteries are plugged in. The left one there, and then the right one, although they both say L on them. The fender here is off of a KMX trike, so you can get them from any dealer that sells KMX, and I suppose they're on the internet. But that's where that's from. This is the other side. Also, there's my computer on the front. I did have wireless, but I found a lot of issues with the wireless getting interfered and in and out, not functioning that smoothly. So I went back to the wired. It's running off my front wheel. I got a 9-speed chain on there. And I also, on the back, I have a DNP freewheel. It's 1134 spread, but this is again electric. So what I find with electric is you don't need as much gearing, in my opinion. At least most people, unless you're maybe touring and carrying a big load or you're living in a mountainous area. But here in Ohio, the single speed electric bike pretty much can go. I've never had a hill that I can't go up fairly easily. And so I just have it in the fixed gear, so to speak. I keep it in the 11 and then the 80 tooth with a 406 rear wheel. And I can pretty much pedal at any speed you care to go, whether it's 5 or more. And so I really don't miss the gearing. Now, if you have more of a low powered system, or you're going to be off-roading and going up some big hills off-road, then maybe more gearing or a mid-drive system would be something better. But I find this quite sufficient. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. So that's touched a little bit. Hopefully this has helped somebody. I just wanted to share my system, and been doing the bikes for 35 plus years, probably closer to the 40 plus year mark. I've mountain biked and road raced, mountain bike raced, and mainly just spirited ride, and got probably 200,000 miles on my legs from pedaling. Sorry about the camera work. I get talking and pointing it in some other direction. But so this is my latest build, greatest build, and so it's got the longest range, and it's my fastest bike and also the greatest range, and so I really enjoy it. I run no front derailleur again, and have no rear derailleur on this particular setup, although you could do both if you so desired. I just tried to simplify it. After all, I've got electric, and I want take full advantage of it, and I find that it creates less problems not having gears and stuff, sticks or going out of adjustment or chain jamming up. That's also the part of the advantage of the hub drive over the mid drive is it's independent and it just drives the rear wheels. So if you don't want to pedal, or your chain breaks, or your whatever happens, derailleur falls off, no matter what happens to the bike, pretty much it can still move and get you home. So, and it's very, very durable. It doesn't have cogs or belts or ratcheting systems inside like a lot of the mid drives do. So I'm a big promoter of the hub drive, but they both have their place. I built 2 bikes with the BHS HD motor, Bafang's motor, and they're my friend's very happy with that and likes that. So different folks and different things for each of us. So, but for me, I'm sticking with the hub drive for now, and it's been problem-free with over 30,000 miles on it. So, well, thanks for watching, and if you could support the channel in any way, that'd be great. Subscribe, comment, share. I'm new here and trying to do a variety of different things, and so far the electric bike seems to have the most interest, so I thought I'd double up on that and post another video to update some things I might have left out, and I'm sure I've still left things out. It's hard to get it all in there when you have 30, 40 years of bike building and riding under you. So, all right, well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.